those persons who depend on tourism.
And this is one of the areas that we will be marching on. You do not need to be a renter. You don't need to have one of the rental operators. You don't need to be operating an Airbnb to come out to march. And we are singing this song. We were singing this song. We are Barbadians together. And right now you can imagine what they're experiencing. All right. And when you know what someone, I think Don made raised the issue on this show, saying that all that they will do is just reduce the number of license. They would you have to apply, so then they reduce the numbers because they have those big hotels, 8-story and 9-story hotels that are being built, which we are being told that are owned by some of these same politicians. We're being told that politicians are the ones that own some of these hotels, or they're part
But
owners with some of these
but but but,
developers.
but Marcia, it is time that the this government and those persons who write laws recognize that tourism is not only about hotels. It's not only about the hotel industry. So why would you bring something like this?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we're going on the street for. And I want everybody listening to me, get out there, because today is for the people with the Airbnb, right? And tomorrow it's for those people you remember the cybercrime bill was coming after this show, and everything else that we do, right?
They're taking on everybody. It's the Swan Street vendors, it's the owners of Airbnb. They're taking on everybody. The
Yes, everybody.
nurses, teachers, they bring the hammer down on everybody.
And that's why we're saying, guys, on September 27th, September 27th, we need to come out. Don't say that when we were out there with the cybercrime bill, they didn't come out. No, no, no. We are one people. We are one people. And so anybody, if you know the people who made this, who did this petition, tell them to come out and to bring actual petition. Bring the actual petition, copies of it probably, and let people sign on the side of the road. Those count as well. Let them sign on the side of the road. That's what we did with the NIS. We actually printed out the petition and let people sign. Let's make some noise about. Yes. Yeah, it's important. It's very important. Tanisha, it don't matter if they don't come. If they don't want to come, that's fine. We are standing on principle. We are standing on principle. And I'm telling you, all of these laws, look at what's happening with the immigration law, which I'm hoping that we can touch on tonight as well. We have quite a bit of things to touch on, um, you know, but so much is happening in Barbados. You know, Dennis Kalman, who said was pushing community tourism long time ago, right? Yeah. Well, it just told you how many persons are doing that. Over 6,000. It said, right, Mr. Babb? Yes, it said over
Yes,
six
yes,
thousand.
yes. He said over 6,000
Yeah, we
persons.
just
Yes,
we just read that. It's in the petition. When you get the petition, so bread, read it
yes,
through. Read it through, and the information is there. It is very well put together.
yes. It's very well put together. Yes, all the facts, critical thinking, a critical
Yes.
analysis of our industry as we see it, taking in all the stakeholders.
Yeah, and I have something here somebody sent me, and I don't know if Dave saw it. I sent it to you, Dave, only while the show is on, because um, yeah. So go ahead, Dave. Just check. You will see something there. It's black, and it seemed to be a Facebook post or an Instagram post. And I want to read that. If you can put that up on your screen for me, it's came in at 8:13 p.m. Thank you. Oh boy, Dave, thank you so much. I tell you, because everything it happens on the fly, and we are here operating, but not operating on all cylinders, because it's we can hear noises and so on, but we're trying our best. We're going to bring it. And the person said, did anyone actually read this bill? If you operate an Airbnb in Barbados, this bill is a death knell for you. I remember they said it's about 6,000 people. Even one room renters now have to meet ridiculous commercial standards in order to get licensed. Public liability insurance, monthly reports to the ministry, annual fire service inspections, annual health inspections, health, unknown licensing fees, 24-hour security, detailed invoices, no more self-check-in. Now, every host has to take a copy of picture ID from every guest at check-in. Mandatory wheelchair and disabled access ramps, lots of new sign postings, smoke detectors and fire extinguishers, and more. The cost of compliance annually will be more than 60% of the average revenue of an Airbnb rental. Wait right there, Dave. Wait right there. You know, guys, this is why I'm saying, can we have compassion? You might not have an Airbnb. Have compassion. This is going to mess up people. I know people with Airbnb, Mr. Bob, and they have the Airbnb so that they can have to pay their mortgage.
Yes, they do. They do. It is there to meet other expenses and not necessarily a money making. It's a covering other expenses.
Yeah,
That
so
is criminal though.
this is bad. This is bad, and it's all for the hotels that they have given so much concessions. I wanted to do a research on that tonight, but I didn't get a chance because I was doing out in Swan Street. But we need to look at that, Mr. Bob, the kind of concessions that these hotels are
But
getting.
I'm wondering if with this, these new expectations that these people have to meet. If when we know, can anybody remember how much money was given to the hoteliers after COVID,
I was saying I wanted to check on that. I didn't
and
get a
what
chance to.
and how and how the hoteliers, the not the hoteliers, the workers had to almost protest because some promise was not met, or it took very long. And I'm wondering what concessions were given to these persons who own rooms, who were encouraged to build on, encouraged to open their doors. What concessions were given to them? Because they too would have lost business. So once you're giving concessions to hotels in excess of millions of dollars, then they can meet these kind of stipulations. But a person who has a dwelling and trying to make ends meet and cover other costs that they may have incurred, mortgages, etc. What are you saying?
Mm. And Mr. Bob, I want to and this is where I say all the time, and I get cursed for it, but I say this: I am grateful for the one opposition member that is in Parliament, Mr. Ralph Thorne, he has been sounding the alarm on this. I love to give Jack his jacket. Mr. Thorne, Ralph Thorne, take a bow, sir. This man has been sounding the alarm about this bill. He has been, and educating Barbados on the bill. And that's what you need an opposition for. When you hear people say, oh, the 30 love, you're all gonna get who? You all? You mean us, the people? Because when that happens, bills like these are gonna flow right through. Bills that are designed to help to make sure that the merchants, those that have money already, okay, that they can sail through, getting their concessions. And look at what is happening. Over 60% of their profits, it seems like, will be taken up with meeting these new requirements. I'd say this country is anti-entrepreneurship. That's all that has happened since I've been here. I've not seen anything. It's the same thing when, oh, the place is too congested. The people are selling. What did you expect is a market? Right? If Dave could go up a little bit, let me read some more of this, Mr. Babb, because the cost of compliance annually will be more than 60% of the average revenue. I said profit, but I needed to say revenue of an Airbnb rental. Plus 250,000 criminal penalty for non-compliance. My God, 250,000? Are you reading this, Mr. Babb? 6 months for government to license and inspect over 5,000 properties. Impossible. That means you will be losing business. It cannot happen. They must rescind this bill. It has to be rescinded. Go ahead, Mr. Babb.
I think, yeah, and then they're setting up timelines that don't make any sense. That don't make any sense at all. At all. 6 months for government to license and inspect over 5,000 properties. How are they going to reach that? They set up timelines, fees, penalties that don't make any sense, timelines that don't make any sense. Who read this bill?
It can't. It can't. And I think now it's going to the I believe, so can somebody, I don't know, Miss McLean, she normally can correct me on these kinds of things. I think it has gone through both the lower house and the upper house. If anybody can reach out to Mr. Thorne, and because he was battling this. Can anybody reach out and let me know, please, where this bill is at? No, this gotta be killed. This has to be killed. These sections have to come out. Dude, yes, you want to make sure they're regulated well. And you know, Mr. Babb, you made a very important point. Are the tourists complaining? The ones that
Yeah,
come to
I would want to know if they can produce. And usually you get your comments online about properties. If the complaints were so overwhelming that they would have to come bring a bill like this from Parliament to address those kind of complaints, to ensure that remain very competitive in the world, and that accommodations, a person seeking accommodation, are not so disappointed that they would not want to come back to Barbados. Where is the evidence?
Mr. Babb, that's an excellent question to ask. Where is the evidence, and what's the data? Who is pushing this? Who is pushing this? Who are the lobbyists? Yeah, it says here 6 months of governmental license and inspect over 5,000 properties. Remember, we told you that it's about 6,000. Impossible. Authoritarian power to the minister to make regulations, etc. This will cause Airbnb to pull out of Barbados, costing the tourism economy over 60 million per year. It will put all tourism rental income back into the hands of the rich elite and take it away from the average Barbadians. The plantation mentality is back. I don't know who's wrote this, but I'm telling you, people are fighting. People are fighting, and you're fighting. I go fight with you. And that's why we're going out on September 27th, 10 a.m. Get your t-shirts. We will have shirts ready by 9 o'clock. We have shirts down there. First 20 person comes, you get your shirt, right? Bring a whistle, make some noise, people. We're going to have placards. We don't hate Barbados. Don't let them tell you that we are the people that hate Barbados or that we are the DLP. No, we're just like you. We are people just like you. We do not plan the marches for no, we don't meet with the DLP to plan any marches. Meet with who? I hear the people, you message me, you know you do. And you say, Marcia, we're ready for a march. You name the march, the march for integrity. It's from the people, not from me. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from the panelists. It's the people. What we do, we're very skilled at tapping into the voice of the people. One day it was for the all the people that are on the internet and so on with the cybercrime bill, and a lot of you didn't care. But now they're coming for you. They're coming for your pocket. And we all need to care. You know, Judith Ann is right. This will all the foreign investors that are building wall-to-wall concrete jungles. And we saw today, didn't we see, Mr. Babb, where the same minister of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in St. James. What was he saying, Dave? If we could get him, Minister Kerry Simmons. He was saying that what all development must that it must not, you must not sacrifice community for tourism.
Well, is this his constituency?
I think so, yes.
While notice at the beginning he said he took long to make a comment, and I believe the pressure has got onto him. And if this is a man fighting for his own political life, because there are 30 seats, and if there's an upheaval by the people in his constituency, he is the candidate that will suffer. So while he is making a point about community tourism, he is also fighting for his own political life.
Good point. And where was he did he speak up on behalf of Crystal Haynes, who was thrown out of the Senate?
Yes. So I waited to see if they throw him.
That's a good point. Right. This is because he's in St. James. Is I believe so. Somebody please. Is it? I'm not sure.
This is St. James. Some parts are bordering St. James Central and St. James South, St. James North. They have a lot of connection between the three constituencies. So he may be under pressure.
Yes. So there's another thing here that is coming in. This bill must go. This is so awful. This is economic oppression. This is economic oppression. This is so authoritarian. Dave, I'm sending you another thing that somebody wants me to read, and I'm going to read it on behalf of the people with the Airbnb. I don't know them, and Mr. Babb, we don't need to know them. Dave, check your WhatsApp. Dave, please check your WhatsApp.
He said, and you notice Simon said that it is not a done deal.
Who said that?
In his submission, he says, Senator, if you bring it a little bigger, if you can make it a little bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's read this here.
Right.
Senator Minister, go ahead. Read for me, please.
Has broken his silence on the controversial proposed redevelopment of Holetown Civic Center site, insisting that local livelihoods and public beach access must not be sacrificed in the name of tourism. And while Senior Minister Infrastructure and Planning in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Dr. William Duguid, earlier this year indicated that the government was pressing ahead with the project. Simmons hinted that this was not yet a done deal. But these men like, don't, what are you saying?
Because they said it was done, and then it wasn't done, and then it was done, and he's saying that it's not yet
It's not
done.
yet a done deal. I told her this. When I read this,
This
it's
is
a man fighting for one
confusing.
political survival.
Isn't it confusing? Continue reading, sir.
Speaking at the St. James Ideas Forum Town Hall meeting at the Frederick Space Secondary School on Wednesday night, the Member of Parliament for St. James Central declared that investment must not come at the cost of community identity, and he called for a coexistence between development and residents' rights. He's not saying anything less than what the young senator was fired for. So I'm waiting to see the response because he has broken ranks with what his government is saying.
Wait, I
Up
mean,
to, up to this point, I have publicly kept lips pursed, he told the gathering. One cannot be seen to be in cabinet, let alone carrying the designation senior minister of the cabinet, and be publicly parting company with the cabinet of which you are part. So obviously, a lot of talking and negotiation has to go on behind closed doors.
hey. So that means then when we were marching and they said we are marching because we hate Barbados. Remember when we marched in Holetown? And that,
Yes.
yeah, they said we hated Barbados. Listen, guys, that's what they said, that we hated Barbados. But guess what? The pressure is reaching them because a lot of the people down there, you know what? They don't look like you and I. And they're making up their minds. Yeah, they're not voting for them. So now all of a sudden, what Senator Christian Haynes and Crystal Haynes to be given back our job? If this is the case, read on, my brother.
I can't see because there's a comment across.
Mitchell is saying there's no confusion. He's
Few
stuttering,
seconds.
riding the
In the
fence,
first,
depending
depending on
on what room he's
who
in.
he's fighting for political. It just goes on to give the outline of another person who is there. Um, the government plans to develop. Dave can take up the
Yeah, Dave.
yes.
Yeah.
The government plans to redevelop the Holetown Civic Center site, awarded the project to the Insurance Corporation of Barbados Limited (ICBL) to construct a 100-room hotel valued at US $88 million. The Civic Center, which houses the police station, magistrates court, post office, library, and government offices around the 1905 monument to the island's colonial settlement, will be relocated to Trent St. James, where a new multi-million civic center is to be built. So if it's not a done deal, are they still going ahead with this?
That's the
If this
thing.
negotiation is still going on behind closed door, are they still going ahead with this?
Because they've already started to clear trends. And this is what we're trying to say to you, government, if you're listening. Most of the time, you sound like you're lying because
Yes.
we know that you have started to clear trends. We know that the owners of trends, that you went and you compulsory acquire they did compulsory acquisition of trends have occurred. It has occurred because we know from the owners that you went and took up the people land at trends. So what is this you're talking about? And that's why we cannot trust you. Nobody hates the government. What the problem is that it seems like you're lying to us.
Yeah. Yes.
Continue.
He has to come down the page. But this Kerry Simmons said a lot here, but food for thought. Just comes down here and come down the page. Right. I know how strongly Senior Minister Duguid feels about this particular project, but
Uh-huh.
equally, my judgment, and I was a former tourism minister, is
Yes.
that we have to find a way of getting a coexistence of the Barbadian community with the investment effort. One cannot alienate or exclude the other, he said.
Huh?
And where that has happened in the Caribbean, and we can point to places like Jamaica, for example, you get an us versus them kind of thing, and that has never been what Barbados is about. It breeds a level of discomfort, disquiet, perhaps even sometimes hostility. And again, that is not what Barbados is about. I do feel that if this project is to go forward, these are a lot of ifs now, and there are still some ifs on it. What I do feel that the ability of our people, the vendors, and so on, and the restaurant operators who have been there for a lifetime to continue to have ease of access to the community and the community to them is vitally important. And that is, I think, the distinguishing factor that must be there if this project goes forward. And not I continue to keep saying if he is fighting for his political life. I'm
Yeah,
telling
this is
you,
a lie. He is. I'm not saying the man is a liar. He is lying. Trust me on this, Barbados. You take this the same way that they promise you. If you're in St. James, Sonny, and all of you down there, all of my white Barbadians, all of you down there, do not believe him.
oh,
Elections are going to be called before the work will start, and then they're going to start the work. We have shown you on this show. We have shown it to you. We showed you the documents. Remember, this is done. We know for sure that the people of Trents that own Trents, believe me, I would not sit here and tell you a lie. The people that own Trents, hear me when I tell you tonight, guys. They have already acquired the people who are even complaining. I can't say everything because but let me tell you what I'm telling you truth. This is a lie. This is to get votes. They have lost the votes in St. James. Oh my goodness. Wow, right before our eyes. This is another bill, the integrity bill. This is it here. He cannot change anything. They can't change it. Wow, we will go back, Mr. Babb. We need to do a show and take them back to when the Prime Minister says that we already made agreements. Remember, she said that.
somebody we should have it. We should be able to pull it up because his statement refutes is contradicting what was said earlier.
Oh my goodness, because he was down there for the St. James town hall. What a wickedness. Lying. You are lying. Go ahead, Mr. Babb.
We can't take these people at their word on anything. I think that because I said earlier, just like the integrity bill, it is something to say which is politically expedient to guarantee you say something to make sure that you hold on to the seat or you hold the government. But you have no intention in the long term to make it come true. So we have to be able as a people to discern when people are taking us for a ride.
Oh my God.
And they have taken us for a ride since 2018.
Listen, somebody said here, which is so important. Miss Weeks, how could he say I in the house and now saying nay in the public sphere? Wasn't it passed in the house before going to the Senate? Self-preservation is his motivation. And they whenever they want these kinds of things to be done, they send him. He goes and does these kinds of things. How could you stand there and lie in the face of people? Wow.
You see, this government has lost its way, and they are thinking that they now can say or do anything to the people, and we will just take it and vote for them. Something about our people has allowed this current group of politicians to say to themselves, "Man, just tell them, just tell them anything, just tell them anything." But we're not. We can't allow ourselves to be treated as if we're stupid. That we are going to take abuse and just grin and bear it, and then decide that we're going to allow the abuser to get away with it, saying and just find a reason to say it's our fault.